Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is George. This is Trading Futures Live. This is day 18 for us, May 25th, 2022. Wednesday. Let's take a look at the news today. Today we have FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. So that's really the major news on the day. We already had durable good orders at 8:30 this morning. Came in worse than expected. We also have crude oil inventories at 10:30, but not really anything that's necessarily going to concern us with our trading of either the ES or the NQ. And that's really the major news on the day. We also have a speaker at 12:15, but that's the yellow folder. Really, the FOMC minutes at 2 p.m. is really the major news on the day. That being said, remember, trading is risky. You can lose all of your capital. We're here for educational purposes only, so please do not copy any of our trades. But we are here to show you our winners and our losers. We're not here to hide anything. My P&L's down at the bottom, live for everyone to see. So that's what we're here for. If we go ahead and look at what's been going on in the overnight, and Franco will be joining us in just a second. He had to restart his computer. But if we look at the overnight, the markets opened up overnight, all four of them, but they are now below yesterday's close, although they're retracing back now. The VIX is up. Gold is down, and down quite a bit, actually, from yesterday's close. So gold is down, crude is up, but retracing sharply as well now. So crude oil futures, that market opens at 9 a.m. So this is the 30-minute candle since the open at 9 a.m. That's pushing down hard. I'd like to see it push down another $10 or so, so that gas is a little bit cheaper at the pump. But we have the dollar up. Right, and so that's what's been going on in the overnight. Dollar up, gold down, the VIX is up, hence the markets are down a little bit right now. We'll wait for Franco to come back on. He can maybe go over what he's been looking at this morning. Let's see, we've got government bonds are coming down as well. You'll remember, really last week they were up in the 3% range up here, and they're steadily coming down. So if we look at the ES in the overnight, remember I trade the micros, so the MES, the micro ES. In the overnight, again, we opened a little bit up, but we've been coming down since the close, since yesterday's close. We're below it. Our value area right now is above where we are. So our value area in the volume profile is up above 3928.75 all the way to 3966.75. We still have the naked POC that I was trying to get to yesterday in my final target to the short side. It didn't get there. I had this zone marked out, and it obviously held. That was the low of the day. As far as to the upside, our nearest POC is still the 4120.50, our naked POC. Right, our other POC from this day, this POC got taken out immediately the next day. Same with this one, the POC from this day got taken out in this drop here. So our current naked POC to the upside is all the way at 4120.50. To the downside, we're still looking at the 3829.50. So if we break down and I'm in it short, I'm going to be targeting this as my final, with my final contract again. this naked POC down here, and we'll see if this level holds again, but it has already been tested there, so we'll see if we get a breakthrough there to the downside. To the upside, we break out to the upside, and that may or may not be my final target on my final contract. I may just be looking at this zone here as my final contract exit if we break out to the upside. But obviously the markets have been weak. Sellers have been in control for quite a while now. And so I'll just turn it off. Yeah.
It's frozen. Look.
The OBS or the whole computer?
No, the OBS is what freezes it.
Yeah. We'll have to reformat your computer this weekend, I guess. Yeah, don't even run it. Not worth it. Franco restarted his computer, but his OBS still isn't working for the live broadcast, so he'll just be on with the audio. So yesterday we had a question about the advanced decline and the tick, and really how I use it. I use it a little bit differently than Franco does. Let me expand this out. So for the advanced decline, I use it pretty much strictly for trend. Right? If it's going up, I want to be long. I'm not necessarily even concerned with the positive or negative numbers as much here. When it was going down yesterday in the morning, I wanted to be short, and when it started to go back up, I wanted to be long. So if you watched the daily recap from me yesterday, during the live session yesterday in the morning, I did take a short. And then after the live session in the afternoon, I took a long on the MNQ. Right, so I use this one more so strictly for trend. And if it is sideways, right, if it is sideways like it basically was down here, where it was sideways, then I like to know what the number is, right? So it's sideways down at extreme negative, so I'm still short here. If it was sideways up at the top and we were in extreme positive territory up in the above 1500, let's say, then I would be still long, right? So, but obviously here I have the 21 EMA on this chart. It crossed above and then that started to hold, and so I wanted to be long. Now in this sideways movement here, I likely would have been hesitant, but as it breaks back up above the 21 EMA and starts to show strength, again, this is when I want to be long. Right. Now for the tick chart, for me, what I like to see in the tick chart is, let's try and find, right? So this is, let's open this up here. So this is where yesterday opened, right here, and it opened at an extreme negative. And then I have the zero line here. This green line for me is the zero line. And you'll see that even though for me this was, right, this was trending to the upside there, the zero line was holding. So on the tick chart, for me, the positive and negative numbers do matter greatly, right? So if we're holding below the zero line, then I mostly want to be short, right? And so you'll see it from in this whole block. Well, anyway, in this whole section here, really, I mean, up until here yesterday, the majority of all of these candles to the left were all below the zero line, meaning that essentially I mean, this might be the only candle that you might now consider it broke and made a new high here, broke above all of these highs, but it did immediately come right back down. Right, so still it even closed below, so it's not really up until this point that the candles start to close above, and the majority of the candles from here to here are now above the zero line, meaning I want to be long, right? So it broke out here, kind of giving a signal that, hey, might be turning around and start to go up. It broke and made a new high here. It did immediately rebound and come back down, but this was the initial sign, that candle there, that, hey, this might want to turn around. And then we came back up, we retested that high, and then we started closing all of these candles above the zero line, right? Over here, I mean, we had this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, only 7 candles in the first few hours closed above the zero line, right? And now, in a very short period of time, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, right? In a very short period of time, they started closing above the zero line. So that for sure to me is a change of trend. And then in conjunction with the advanced decline, right, if that's starting to cross above the 21 EMA, like I showed, now, hey, this is rolling over. We now want to be long. This now even made 2 new extreme highs here to the long side. And so on a pullback on the tick is when I want to be getting into the long side. So if we look at, let's say, this candle here to the close at 1152, somewhere around 1152 would be a good place for me to go long. It's broken out. It's started to make new highs on the tick. It's now been closing above. Even this one broke down below as a nice strong pullback. Now, we're going to go look at 1152 on the chart and see how we did. But who's to say that we wouldn't have gotten stopped out and that this wouldn't have been a better entry afterwards, right? But this is my trade. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a nice pullback to get the momentum to the long side. So now let's go look at the chart at 1152 and see what it told us. We're going to go to the same 2-minute chart. We're going to scroll back to yesterday, go to 1152. I'll put a vertical line on it. That candle closing there, and in fact it actually, and so believe it or not, that's actually where I got in yesterday on this, or no, that's actually, sorry, that's where I got stopped out. So I was in short yesterday on the ES, pulled back, came down, I got target 1, target 2, and target 3. I left one runner, and that's where the runner stopped me out. For plus 1R there. I got in up here, and it still stopped me out there. But this is where then, now my bias changed to the long side, and this is, in here on the NQ chart is where I got long yesterday. So the market's turned around. Let's mark it on the NQ, 1152. Right there. And so I actually got in here long. I got a little bit push up right after getting in, but I did take some heat. But like I said, the ADD rolled over, started trending up. The tick started closing above the zero line, meaning long. So I got in long. I took a little bit of heat, but that's T1. That was target 2. My target 3 was up here, but it turned around there and I got stopped out. I had a trailing that was trailing me up, and that was my third contract that I got stopped out there. So hopefully that's a decent explanation. Now we're getting a nice strong push to the upside. We're in the value area from the overnight. Let's take a look at the let's go take a look at the internals. Alright, we've got the ADDs pushing up hard. They did open up in the negatives because we did gap down, excuse me, from the close of yesterday, but we're getting an extreme push up. Now, with as hard as that push was, I would like to see these ticks be more extreme with as hard as that pushes. But we're getting a pullback now. We're gonna let this play out for a little bit and see what's going on. If I mark my levels, really I have that level there. So really my levels right now are the overnight high and the overnight low. And so I'm going to be looking at, if we get a move to here, like that, I'm going to want to be short. Sorry guys, let me close that, see if we can get that flashing to stop. Right, so that's my one play there, a rejection off of the overnight high, or if it continues, if it breaks through, then I'd be interested in a long there. Breaks through, gives me a pullback, I'll be in long. I was watching some videos last night and I even wrote it down. So I was watching a video and the guy kind of summed up my trading in one very clean sentence, which is, we are trying to find a low risk way to enter the daily momentum to take out a piece of the market, right? Trying to find a low risk way to enter the daily momentum to take a piece of the market. So if the daily momentum, I see it as long, I'm trying to find a low risk way to get into it. So for me, it's after a pullback and the tick pulled back, and so that's my low risk entry. And if it's to the short side, the same thing. If I think the daily momentum is to the downside, I'm trying to find a low risk entry after a pullback to get a piece of that momentum.
You got me?
No, not yet. Hold on. Yeah. There we go.
There you go.
All right.
Oh my God.
Franco's been fighting his computer for the last 20 minutes.
Thanks God. Hello guys. Welcome you all here.
Okay, so that was the NQ chart. Let's go ahead and mark up the ES.
Alright. What do we got?
What time
here?
was it?
What
6:15. I don't really consider that a level, but this is certainly my lower bound of my levels, and I think this would be just the top for me, the overnight high. Although this could be a sign here, right? But we're going to wait. We're going to be patient. Want to wait and see how this 15-minute candle closes. We've got 3 minutes left in this 15-minute candle. See if it continues to push bullish. And we'll see how it closes. But regardless, on this chart, I'm looking for the same thing. And it's not even to say that it can't break this high, because it could be a false breakout, right? But if we get, that's what I'm looking for here. Or if it does break out with some momentum, then we're looking to take it long. And you'll see, guys, I draw the same arrows every day. right? That's my game plan. I keep it simple. I'm not trying to overcomplicate my life. Trying to be patient. Take 1 or 2 trades a day. High expectancy, high probability trades. And call it a day. Let's take a look at the internals. So they shot straight up at the open. They're starting to come down. Now I have the 21 EMA and it's quite a bit from there, but that's also due to the gap.
Volume is average. But today I thought it was going to be a lot lower because of the minutes.
And for the moment we're still pretty mixed on the tick charts. These two down here on the bottom, they opened up below, they broke above the 0 line. We've got a few candles closing above, but even on this NQ, on this tick Q here, we have a few closing below the 0 as well. So now if this holds, shoots up and maybe creates a new high, then I'd be biased long. I'd be looking more for longs. If it shoots up, closes above, pulls back then to the 0 line, gives me a pullback, that would potentially be an entry long. We'll have to see what the ADD is doing at that time, as well as the VIX, as well as everything. 30 seconds in this 15-minute candle. No problem, Ricardo. Let me know if you have any more questions on the tick or the advanced decline charts. Frank will maybe go through the way he looks at it. He looks at it a little bit differently, so maybe at the end of the live stream or in the daily recap he'll go through the way he looks at it. New 15-minute, and that one closed quite bullish. Quite bullish. Now, if this level here was the overnight high, I would likely be trying to get into this long right now. But with the overnight high 15 points away from where price is right there, I mean on the AES 15 points is quite a distance, but under normal circumstances, but the volatility in this market, really, I want to see it break above and hold above before I jump into anything. Not in any rush.
We just need one good trade a day.
Yeah. And though this first 15-minute candle is quite bullish, I mean, it hasn't really broken any important levels for me to say, yes, we are going up. It did create a higher low from this low of yesterday, right? So that is a sign of an upwards trend, but still, I like to wait for some type of confirmation. So for me, it would need to break this pivot up here as confirmation that price wants to go higher.
Yeah, the 30 minute does not look very bullish right now. The chart did not make a new high. It's creating a higher low though.
Mine's making a lower low.
Well, not from the open.
Yeah, I don't. Correct. I don't look at the open candle, me personally. Like I said, we both differ in the way we look at the chart.
Yeah. Well, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Anybody can make money. I mean, and today we have the minutes at 2, so it wouldn't surprise me if we
Are very choppy.
Yeah.
Which is what it's looking like to me. If you look at my 2 tick charts, I have the ES on the left. Majority of the candles have closed above the 0 line, and if you look at the NQ, the majority of the candles are below the 0 line. So, got quite a mixed market right now.
Near 5.
Which what that really gives me bias isn't the right word, but a bias towards is a reversal trade. Is that the breakout, the markets are mixed, so are they necessarily going to break levels, or are the levels going to hold? So with the mixed internals, I'd be more willing to take this short trade here, a test of this high, retest, and then take it down. Let me get some of these arrows off. I got too much stuff going on here. Got the same thing to the downside. Looking for that long, or that trade to there. And that's it. Those are my 4 scenarios for now.
I don't want to be fooled today by the dollar going up. Actually, it's retracing back up, back down, so might be in a risk-on environment. Really looks like 7 more minutes for this 30-minute candle to close. 6 minutes.
So still very mixed internals. The NYSE tick holding above, the tick Q below the zero, the ADD, the NYSE advanced decline has had 2 solid green candles. The advanced decline for the NQ have been candles that went nowhere. No clear momentum in the markets right now.
Yeah, my game plan today is just taking 2 to 1s for now until the volatility just get better.
Yeah. Had slow opens yesterday and today. And again, we don't have, I mean...
But the volume is no low.
With the meeting minutes up until 2 p.m., if it's going to be like this the rest of the morning, Jesus.
Boring.
I mean, wow. That 15-minute candle has done nothing. Other than stop people out.
Yeah. 3 more minutes. Very quiet morning.
Extremely.
But the tick chart is showing a lot of bearishness. Not extreme.
It is on yours, but the ES is the opposite. All of your candles that are below the zero line are all above the zero line on the ES tick.
Yeah, but the ES is one thing now. The NQ is another thing. We know tech has been weak lately, and the 10-year yield going up. Is it going up today? Oh yeah. Well, it's flat.
Yeah.
But being flat makes tech more vulnerable.
Ten seconds for a new 30 minute. Let's see what this next 30 brings us.
There's no rush. If you start feeling FOMO, get away from your computer and do something else. Come back in 10 minutes. Because FOMO is one of the FOMO is one of the worst emotions to be feeling, right? I did that 30-minute close though, by the way. Quite bullish. Well, markets are doing nothing, slowly grinding up. I don't want to rush into one trade here. And my trade is going to be at least, no more than 2 to 1 as of these market state. 2 to 1 is more than enough for me. I do have an area there. Is 11,822. I haven't taken it. I mean, I want to see some extremes.
You want to pull up your chart?
There's nothing that I mean, I can show this.
Yeah, there's not much. There's not much to show.
Yeah, I put it on, but
I drew a couple of trend lines, but
put it on just to show my my
I'll
area.
wait for the market to show me where it wants to go, and it has not done that yet.
Yeah. You're not showing yourself.
No,
What?
I don't have it on your thing when I transition to you.
I have those two areas, but he's been given 2-to-1 for the. This is the third time. Oh no, sorry, like 1, 2. This is the second time. But I don't know. The tick chart was not extreme. I want to see something very clear for me to take a trade. It's not that I'm cherry picking the trade. It's I really want a high expectancy trade due to the fact that the market is very choppy, and it makes sense that it is choppy. So I had these two areas. Please do not take our trades. It's just for educational purposes, but I do have these two areas. Now the tick chart is going more to like the weak side of the market, so that might make this lower area not to work. All right, this higher area, I didn't take it. I mean, I don't trust this market. Although I had the signal on the tick chart, I was hesitating because it was the first time I missed it, right? I had it, but the tick chart was not giving me the signal. Here, it gave me the signal, like here in the second week. This little week gave me the signal, right? But it was a third time in the zone, so I was like, this market looks pretty weird, and the dollar is going up, but it's been dropping for several days. So the pattern that is creating, look, dollar has been dropping for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trading days, right? Not straight. We have had a couple of green days, but very, very shallow. And the pattern that is showing right now is telling me that the dollar might drop with the minutes in the afternoon. That means the market might break to the upside with the minutes. I mean, that's the technical stuff, but I do not see any good news coming out of that minutes, right? Because nothing has changed. as a matter of fact, those minutes are the report from the last Fed meeting.
Yeah.
So a few weeks ago when we had the meeting, we had even worse readings in inflation and other, economy numbers. So I don't think anything good is going to come out from that minute. The only thing it could help the market is that if they were talking about, all right. All right, so I was saying that the only thing I would expect that will come out of that minutes that will help the market is that the Fed probably is planning to not to increase 50 basis point or 75 basis point for the September meeting, right? Because the July meeting, we're expecting a 50 basis point. That's what the market is baking in. Like if you go to the CME group rate hikes, and I can show you that rate hikes probability. Let me transfer that to these. All right. For the June meeting, we have 92% for a 50 basis point, right? There's a chance, very shallow chance, that they raise 75 basis point, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So we will have clues in this meeting, right? In these minutes. But here, all right. So here is 50 basis point. For the July meeting, 50 basis point as well. For the September meeting, so it's 225. Oh, there you go. The September meeting, the market is pricing in 25 basis point, because it's what we have heard from speakers and stuff, right? So the September meeting is what is in the mind, let's say, of the market. So I don't think we can have a very positive news out of this minute, because if the market is considering 25 basis point for the September meeting, that's already baked in. So if they say 50 basis point for September, which I don't think is going to happen, that will crash the market. Alright, go back to the charts, and the area is still working. This thing is 100% sideways.
I mean, miserable.
I mean, we're in a 60, at least in NQ, we're in a 60 points
Range. It's 20 points on the NQ.
And look, if we don't take a trade, it's fine. I mean, it's good, it's okay. We don't need to take trades. Me personally, I won't be here at 2. I don't know if George is going to trade at 2, but the 2 p.m. News report probably is going to give us opportunities. Alright, so we're breaking to the upside. still have these, and I do have these, but I don't know how effective it can be. It's just a week. Now the tick chart is breaking to the upside.
Yeah, it's an extreme high on the tick.
Yeah.
The VIX broke down. That's not quite a new low just because of where it opened, but it's a new low since the open. Same on the NYSE tick. That made a new high. And the ADD is certainly trending up.
Yep.
So the internals are starting to get aligned and show some strength. And we have a new 15-minute. A minute ago.
Yep. For those who just joined into the live, we're coming live every morning, 9:20 for market open, and then we trade for like an hour and a half. And we've been doing it now for 4 weeks, and we plan to do it as long as we can. We're not trying to sell you anything, so if you come to this channel, you will get a lot of information that we handle, that we know, we have learned along these years of trading and dealing with the market. And the most important thing is that we will not try to sell you anything.
We're just here to show you our winners and our losers. Watch us live.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple.
Now,
patience, guys, patience. Don't rush into this breakout. I know it's hard. Now it's hard to sit here for almost an hour and do nothing.
Yeah, it's fine.
But sometimes that's the best thing you can do.
We're having an interesting conversation. You know what? Let's see if I can pull up this. Alright, I'm gonna transition here. I want to show. I don't know if it's the best image for the. There we go. Alright, the way I look this is alright, ADQD is more clear. It's impossible to be clear. To have a clearer trend here. We opened up here, and then we'll be just going off, right? So now this is a very, very important thing on the ADQD is a like my main source of direction. If this thing is going up, I want to try to go long. I don't want to fight this, right? That doesn't mean that this thing cannot do this, right? And in these drops, the market drops quite a bit, right? So I want to be aware that going long on the ADQD when it's just right where it is, right? Even though the market is retracing, can be
counterintuitive.
Now, like it could be dangerous, right? So what I want to see is the market coming down, and this thing coming down somewhere around this area, right? So if this thing comes here and the market is retracing, then that's a safer trade for me. Here with the tick chart, I do see the trend here, and if I want to go long, I want to be long around this area, right? You see this? Or if it's very, very strong, I see like this recently created pivot here. Damn, I'm all confused with the symbols here. You see this wick? I want to be here also, right? If here the market shows, I have an area there, and the market shows me that that's a good area geometrically, meaning the pattern that I see is good, and the tick is, and the market is so strong that it's not gonna come to the negative number. It's gonna come to the 0 line, and then it's gonna do this, right? Like it is doing right now, right? But the safe bet is here, the trend line. I want to see this into the trend line, close to my area, and then is when I put the order on, right? So that being said, let's go back to the charts. We have some exciting videos for this Friday. We're planning to do like initial book. Now, what is the top 5 books for trading psychology or trading in general? So you guys can know which book we like and how to start. We haven't even broken the overnight high. We were up quite a bit, right, on the overnight? Like 1%? Yes.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it did go up some, but.
Now, yesterday we had a super bounce, like the one that we had on Friday. And the way we learn how to trade is trying to find orders, meaning on-field orders. That means that our trading ideas are based on where a big fund or a big institution is buying, right? So, at least for mine. So one mainly requirement that I need to see in my trading, in my zones, are the leg outs, meaning how the price got out of the level, right? How strong, how fast. And why is that? Because I want to see that the imbalance in the orders were so overwhelming that when price comes back to that level, it's gonna do the same reaction. Or in theory, but it's something that we cannot know 100%. In theory, is that we consider that there are still several orders pending to be filled, right? And I can talk about that, you know, in next videos. But so one requirement for me to draw a zone is that the price was there, but the imbalance in the orders, meaning a lot more buyers buying orders than selling orders, made the price move so fast and so extreme until it found another level, right? So that's what we call the leg out. The leg out is how the price went out of the area. You call it the leg out, right? You call it the leg out too. So the leg out is something that validates my zone, right? Because you can get fooled by noise, and the chart is so noisy that you can see formations all over the chart. But how significant is the formation? And how strong is the leg out? So that's the question that I ask myself all the time. How strong is the leg out? How strong is the leg out? Is this a good leg out or a bad leg out? So feel free to type any question that you guys have, because we have plenty of time. I think we're gonna stay for like 10-15 more minutes and then we'll call the day, because to not taking trades it's not bad per se. Like, this is a game of patience, and believe it or not, even though I missed this trade, I could have taken it right here. Sorry, oh my god, this is horrible. I could have taken this trade here, right? But I did not have all aligned. Like I said a few minutes ago, I'm not cherry picking. I got past that stage of mine where I cherry picked all my trades, and I wanted to win all my trades, which is not possible, right? For all that you guys follow this channel, I do lose 58% of my trades. I just win 42% of my trades. And I do record a bunch of break-evens, even though I have data coming in this week too, because I'm working on my past trades with the H1 to see what my data was before. I do take a lot of break-evens, but I started to retake those trades. And I think Monday, my winner was a retake. That gave me two and something hours. So we're almost at the overnight. The overnight high is always a very sensitive point. I do not take limit orders with the overnight level, even though I do have a level there at, I'm gonna mark it up with the red line right there, is 11,881, right? I do have a level there, but what I often see is, okay, it does break. It does break here, and then it can do this, right? So if the level is overnight, I don't take limit orders. So the light blue dotted is the overnight high, and the red line is a formation that I have there overnight. Internals, if I show back the internals, I was pointing this low here, and when we see this, it's because the market looks pretty bullish. This is quite of an important signal of bullishness in the market. It's not coming through the zero line. It's going up, uptrend, not coming through the zero line, right? If we have a big retracement, let's say we have this. Let's say we have this, right? And we find something around here, right? What we want to see here is, all right, this can and it will come to this trend line, right? And try to maintain the trend line, right? That is a signal of bullishness. And at this point, then we will take this trade here, okay? So the overnight high, as usual, is creating some resistance there. That doesn't mean we cannot go higher. We can. But yeah, the overnight high always creates some resistance because big institutions know that momentum traders want to take that high as a breakout. And what it often does is it retraces back down, it stops everyone out, right? All the momentum traders, right? And then they take it higher. This is a very powerful statistics that I learned to consider when I wanted to take a breakout, right, to the upside or break down to the downside. Only 4% of the time the breakout is clean. 4% of the time. That means if we have 250 trading days, times 0.04, that is 10 days out of the whole trading years that the market is going to break out clean. No retracement, just going to straight up, right? So your probabilities are not on the side of this breakout, right? At least on the overnight high. Another statistic that I can rely on very strongly on a bull market. We're not in a bull market right now. We don't know where we're at, but on a bull market, 55 to 56% of the time, the market closes higher, meaning that the longs are more probable, right? And if you start putting together all these numbers, right, you can think about this. Okay, what if we break the overnight low and we take it long? We have the overnight or the breakdown statistic in hours high, and then we know that 56% of the time the market goes up and closes green. So those are statistics that I've learned the hard way, if you will. So I don't know if you have something, George.
No, waiting. If it rejects off of this overnight high and gives a retest of that overnight high, then I'm going to try and get in short, but the internals don't look very good for that.
No.
And now it's breaking out. So a solid break on the overnight high for the ES and the NQ.
Also for the NQ.
So now I'm going to be looking. I'd like to see it stay up there. I'm watching on a 5-minute. Definitely needed to close above on the 5-minute. It has 30 seconds left in this 5-minute candle. I want to see it close above. Go back and take a look at the internals real quick.
You can take over for your final remarks.
The internals are still bullish, very bullish. The ADD is going up, up, and up on both charts. The tick charts are up, up, and up. The VIX is coming back down. To me, I almost feel like I'd be chasing at the moment, so I'd like to see a nice decent pullback. The 5-minute did close well above. I like that. I do have a zone there though on the ES that's why I'd like to see a healthy pullback to potentially get in this long. Right, so breaking out, pull back, take it long. And we wait.
It'll be great if you guys share your experience. What trades have you taken, and if they worked or if it didn't, so we can try to help us, try to help you out. I think we can call this.
Call it a morning. We're going to keep trading, guys. Not that we've taken any trades, but we are going to continue to watch these charts, though. Again, you guys know what I'm looking to do. If it does reject, I'll be short. If it breaks out, pulls back, I'll be long. Of course, that's all. The internals need to be in line with that, with either one of those trades. If I'm long, the internals need to agree with that, and if I want to be short, the internals need to agree with that. But that's what I'm doing. That's what we do every day. Stay patient, people, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
Have a good one.